Hey folks, back at the hangar this weekend, and in this box I have a bunch of goodies I have been waiting eagerly a couple of months for. So let's check out what I have got. Now on the top of this box it says Bruce's custom covers, so that might give you a hint what's in here, but I have to admit there's actually two other shipments that I stuffed in here as well. So let's see, box within the box, what do we have here? Ooh, and apparently the bottom of the box is opening. How about that? So some of it's falling out. Let's make sure we don't lose it. First up, we have a piston. This piston goes right here. So replacement for one is there. Now you might be saying, well, why do you need a piston? The door is already open. Well, let's see. You notice it's a little short. The piston doesn't push all the way up anymore, so got a replacement for that. What else we have? We have new door cables, nice and pretty. Get rid of these ugly orange things, which is a fuel hose that was put on here to protect against pricking yourself on some safety wire that was put on a piece of metal that they used to fix it before. So taking away that hack job and just putting two new cables on it. What else do we have in here? These actually just arrived this morning, very conveniently, straight from Alaska. Gust locks. So my mechanic, the first time he came by, he recommended that I get specific type of gust locks that wedge in between the aileron and the flap. And personally, I'd never seen those before, ever. And the next week I was looking at the airplane next to me in the hangar, and sure enough, I had these installed. Again, never seen them before. No other airplane here has them. I took them off his airplane, borrowed it, and just test fitted it on mine. And even though they're specifically made for Cessna series aircraft, they fit perfectly on the Aerostar. So I picked these up from F. Atlee Dodge in Alaska. Now we get into some of the fun stuff. So this is the pitot cover. And this is the rod to attach the pitot cover. And you may be asking, why do you need a rod to attach a pitot cover? It's because it's 12 feet high in the sky. You'll see that in a little bit. From Bruce's. Beautiful. Cowl plugs with the oil cooler. This is for the other engine, so we'll put these down. The flag should be on the inside. Here is the other lower door cable. These are the heat exchanger, if you can see them, on the inbound of the wing there. Now, I want to give Bruce's a special call out. I had an idea. These things get lost sometimes, they blow away and so forth. I had an idea, put on air tags. And I was just going to leave in the zipper and put them in there, but Bruce's took it to the next level. They added air tag pouches to these things. So if it blows away in the wing, gets lost at the ramp, somebody's iPhone will pick it up somewhere, and you know what part of the airport to go look for it. So those are the three sets of goodies I got. Now let's get installing them. All right, first up, we're going to put the new cowl plugs in, get rid of these ugly chunks of foam. Toss those aside, pull that out, toss it aside. The moment of truth. Does it fit? Yes, it does. Very nice. Now, a little tip I got from one of my CFIs that really I've only ever heard from one person and most people do not know is to always put the rope that connects the cowl plug on the outside and never behind, which so many people do. Because if you ever forget and you start the engine, wait for the plane to pass there, the engine will turn, grab the rope, and rip the cowl plugs out. You never want to take off with those cowl plugs in. This is the one I was most curious about, because when we bought this, did not know how it would fit, but they put rubber. Fits nicely. Fancy, fancy. Over here we have the heat exchanger plug, and this is, again, just to keep animals, really birds, from creating nests. And you just stuff that in there and plug it up. All right, let's go do the other side. And again, I think it's just so cool if you get a zoom in shot on the pouch for the air tag. Of course, I dropped the air tag. Smooth with the free engraving that Apple provides. Just tuck right in there. If this ever blows away, someone's iPad somewhere is going to pick it up. All right, so now, because as you can see way up is the 12-foot tall pitot tube, they give us this pole with Velcro, and you just stick it on there. And you just put it on just like that. Now you may be asking, why is this rope dangling here? Well, unfortunately, Amazon missed their delivery, so I don't have it to show you. But this is intended that it's going to connect to a carabiner. And the carabiner, now I see that this is too short, so we're going to have to get a longer rope. The carabiner would attach here, and it'll be a second remove before flight streamer. So as I'm doing my walk around, I don't have to just look up to see it. I can also see it here. So, all right, so we got the Cessna gust locks that we're going to use here for the Aerostar. Oh, they don't want to come out of the bag. Okay. Now these come with a couple of things. Oh, okay. So they come with a bungee cord and a streamer that's meant to connect from your aircraft wing to the back of it. I don't have any place to connect it to, and I don't really think that it's needed. We're gonna put that aside. I do want to remove before flight streamer, which I have ordered, so we'll put those on next time. But the way these work very simply is you wedge it between the flap and the aileron under, and lock in, that's it. And now the aileron cannot move in the wind at all. And you can see it's in there so strongly, I just don't see a need to use the bungee cords. And likewise, we'll come under the tail to the other side, and we likewise will lock it in. That's it. This one actually feels like it can fit over it. So, yeah, there you go. Gust lock secure. These are much better than the ones that are, it's a little short metal contraption that you put on the co-pilot's controls. This is much better, much simpler. All right, so now we're going to replace the door piston here. Again, when this opens, it just doesn't have enough pressure to go all the way. It's a good 6-8 inches short without pushing it. And I've already bumped my head once getting out, forgetting to push it up. So we're going to take this one off, clean the attachment points, and put a new one on. Got it. Okay, so that's unclipped. Come on, baby. There it is. So pin number 1 is out. Get out of the way there. If you don't mind just keeping your hand up as a safety, because what might happen is that when I unclip this, it pops off. This one, for whatever reason, was much easier. Pull it out. Oh, mother. Maybe I should have said that right at the camera. There it goes. First up, we're going to go ahead and pop this on here. Nice and gentle. Push that all the way up so it's a full extension. Now we're going to go ahead and attach these pins. Clip in. And same thing here. Voila. Fully closed, and then full extension. Nothing left to give. Beautiful. Now let's work on the bottom. All right, so we're going to replace these door cables. I'll just pull this. This is a engine hose, but to expose. It's a older cable. It's thin. So it's prone to creasing, which again might be why they added this. And it's also yellow. So I found at the flight shop they have brand new ones in stock ready to go. They're thick, they're pretty. We're gonna install those. So we're gonna do them one at a time because this is already set to be perfectly level. They need to be exact. There is adjustments for each. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the first one off, put it on, level it, and then repeat with the second. So looking here for tools, what do we need? It looks like we're gonna need some wrenches and a Phillips head screwdriver of some sort. So let's go get my wrench set and my Phillips head and start working. All right, back. We got a multi screwdriver here, which I promptly dropped. You probably will notice a trend in these videos, I drop things a lot. That was a washer. All right, now that we have this removed from the top, we'll just pull this off first of all, see what's under here. Get rid of that ugly. So again, just a simple yellowed out, slightly bent from years of being in one direction. Okay, so I'm upgrading to power tools, save my wrist, and we're just going to remove this from the bottom here. One, two. Screw to the exterior washer, to the interior washer. Interior washer to here, inside washer. And we put the nut on. So the dilemma we have now is the new bolts are 1/4 inch. The old bolts are smaller. And so I need to drill them out. And I could use a hand drill, run to the store, get the right bit. But at home, I have a brand new drill press at my parents' home. So I'm gonna go pick that up and bring that to the hanger here. So in the meantime, I'm gonna put this back in as is. We're not gonna drill it out. And we're gonna use the smaller bolt to lock it in place. Now, if you wanna know why I wanted to get rid of this one specifically so badly, I know which way to pull this. It's best. Now, there's actually some good hardware in here that's worth saving. But yeah, this little concoction was created to fix a broken line. I don't know, I feel like that would have been cheaper just to buy that, considering the time it's taken to replace and purchase these from the flight shop. So, off to the side that goes. And let's install our new one. All right, so we lock that in place. So to summarize, we took out, this is what came with the plane. The problem with the thinness is that this is mostly going to be folded up when the airplane is usually with the door closed. And so you don't want it pinching, and that's exactly what has happened, and you have had some deformities over time. And then this monstrosity, holy moly. You can see that it's got prickly safety wire coming off of it. Yeah, it actually does hurt too, to be honest with you. Out with the old and with the new. Alright, so it actually folds very nicely. All the way up, no hesitation. Fantastic, very happy with this. What you doing?
Oh, I need...
Getting these old yellow ones off to replace them with new white ones. Kind of see the contrast there. There's some that actually look kind of clean, and there are others that are just like completely yellow. Then there's some of the plastics that are white and some of the plastics that are yellow. It's all UV damage, so just replace it all. VintageTrailerSupply.com. You get these for your 1970s era Airstream trailers, and Aerostar aircraft. Alright, what we found here, the strobe power supply that had to be removed as we're going to LEDs, and LEDs do not need this kind of power supply any longer. But over in here, this is where we found that. So two things. One, we found the hydraulic down here that we're going to have to resolve. I believe it's coming out of this hydraulic ram there, and back here we're going to have to go ahead and clean and install the fuel transfer system again that had been uninstalled or disconnected. Alright, this is part of the fuel system here. That's been disconnected. If we look close here, you see that the rubber is actually cracking. That hose is no good, so a lot of these hoses will age out. This one clearly has. There's some more down there, so I'll get replacements for all of those. All right, well, it's 8:30 Saturday night. My wife and I are hungry. It is time to call it a night. Did some more polishing of the spinner. We have our beautiful Bruce's covers in here. We worked in the kidney panel down here. We took out the strobe power generator, found a hydraulic leak, and one small hose section that needs to be replaced before the fuel system is reintegrated. And finally, we got these new gust locks. Really like these a lot. Really happy with how these fold in. Nice and straight, nice and clean. Lock it in. Piston all the way up every time. No more bumping my head. Perfect. Well worth the $100 it cost. Lock it up.